Hello, hello. The energy in the country right now is appalling. It is absolutely awful. But I want to see. Let's see what's going on with Mueller, because the energy around him is much more calm. I mean, anything would be calm in comparison, but right now the energy around Mueller is much more head down. Not shadowed hallways, but you know, this kind of office hallways that there isn't a whole lot of fluorescent light. Just a lot of work, a lot of putting things in order, a lot less emotion. Even though there's a lot of emotion, like I said, compared right now, the country feels like it's about to pull itself apart. Mueller. I don't know if you're familiar with Kirsten over on Third Eye Champagne, but she calls him Sexy Bob. Yeah, this is the government. This is Mueller just using the power of the government in a very steady, solid way. In the past, there have been, there were a few people here and there looking into things Trump had done. Also work he's done in the world, fighting the good fight, doing the good thing. But that was then. All right. Center of the reading. Yep, he's been awfully quiet. We know that. Just silence. More like Silent Bob. Silent Bob Mueller. Just looking for that wisdom, carefully doing his thing. Wow. Lots of major arcana in a moderate way, taking charge. Above it, everybody outside, this actually feels like the people turning against each other. Manafort, Cohen, everybody talking, everybody trying to point the finger, secrets. And he's used to this. He's because of his past, he's used to this. And he's the balance to move toward the truth. Near future. Wow. Is this every major arcana card in the deck? I'm getting a lot of major arcana cards whenever I read on Mueller. This is looking at Mueller looking at Trump's partnerships. And some of his girlfriends. I wonder if he's had Russian girlfriends. And using the strength. The strength of his seat, his government, or the government, the power of the government. But still very measured, very working for something bigger than himself. Which is a concept Trump does not get. Raging narcissists don't. Home environment. He seems immune, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. People trying to pressure him. Getting blowback. Worried about his, who his boss is going to be, what is going to happen there. Talking to people who have flipped, who've been through a lot. And he's trying to make sense of all the different stories. Hopes and fears. He's hoping to trim some of the lushness, the decadence, the corruption, years and years and years ago there was a show called The Shadow that had a famous beginning, which was the weed of crime bears bitter fruit. The shadow knows. These are the weeds of crime. Other people see, that's a card of movement. These, oftentimes the red roofs in the background will refer to Mar-a-Lago, and this would mean the chariot's moving away from Mar-a-Lago, or it's coming back. I think it's coming back from Mar-a-Lago. Manafort flipped, Cohen flipped, all these people flipped. He got the information he needed. Final outcome. This feels like I'm worrying about his funding. People who've been friends for a long time, working together. I need to know more about this final outcome for Mueller. Checking in with Mueller here. What is... Because you've got all of these major arcana, big forces, fate, and then suddenly these very small cards. What about that? More major arcana. This is the grief and pain actually in the country right now about other things. Also his people, upset people being willing to help him to try to save themselves. And that information filling the well. This makes me think about the trips Trump took to Russia with his family in the late 80s. This one is almost starting to feel like Trump's story. He went there, then there were all these bankruptcies. And the Wheel of Fortune turned against Trump. He was heartbroken. He was offered, ultimately he was offered information. I feel like I'm sort of down in the weeds. Mueller's down in the, I'm not down in the weeds. I'm just sitting here. I'm fine. But this is, it's almost like all these forces are moving and lining up, and all of these, I mean, there's a lot of major arcana. Big forces. And then suddenly it just kind of, maybe because of the midterms, everything fizzles, or... And that's major arcana. It gets bogged down? Does it get bogged down? Does it get... Are we waiting? No, there's going to be justice. People who belong in jail are going to go to jail. Mueller's going to get what he needs. There will be justice. So... I almost feel like Mueller's having some personal issues. Like with his family, his children. You know, life goes on, and people have their own issues. You want to help your kids, but it's his job to look through all the illusions and see if the Russians gave Trump. Very strange. I'm getting not just full steam ahead, but my gosh, it's the forces of the universe. And then suddenly it just fizzles. And ultimately there will be justice, but why am I not picking up, or is it, no, things aren't hidden. Waiting for information to come back from overseas. Foreign banks, what have you. Very strange. Oh, it's moving forward. And I just get Trump Jr.'s name is like a flashing neon sign. He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Yeah, that's just, suddenly it all goes very small. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. So that's the check-in with Mueller. I wish I could be more definitive. All right, thank you for watching.